It rained at Gettysburg the night of July 3, a blessed rain after the intense heat and humidity of the day. It came out of the heavens, lightly at first, to refresh and cleanse the scene, then harder to pound the blood into the hallowed earth for all time. A terrible wind, filled with voices and whisperings from the past, came up then, and thunder rolled in, echoing the cannon that had rumbled and roared earlier that afternoon. The sky above the battleground, with its littered dead and dying, was suddenly rent by jagged bolts of lightning. His terrible, swift sword. Those who had fought and died there had, indeed, seen the glory. It rained the whole night through, the weather continuing boisterous. The next day was the 4th of July. America was 77, a young nation dedicated to the unfinished work which they who had fought there so nobly advanced, dedicated to the great task remaining. Bloody and terrible, Gettysburg left no doubt in a determined President Lincoln's mind. His truth was marching on. Yesterday's heroes returned to Gettysburg in July of 1913 for the battle's 50th anniversary. Those gallant boys in blue and gray, who had gone off to war a half-century earlier, were elderly now, many of them bearded, their faces wizened by time. Most of them were frail, stooped a bit, with advanced age and hard work. Yet each possessed some indefinable trait that set them apart from others of their era. At the 1913 reunion, the grizzled survivors bivouacked on the hallowed grounds, reliving the great battle and swapping stories and memories. The climatic instance of the reunion was a reenactment of Pickett's charge. Thousands of spectators watched as the Union veterans took their positions on Cemetery Ridge. There, those men waited with bated breath as their old adversaries emerged from the woods of Seminary Ridge and hobbled toward them, across that open field, raising their hats to expose hair that shone as white as silver, the well-remembered rebel yell on their lips. From behind the stone wall, a loud groan, heart-wrenching in its timbre, rose from the Union vets. With sudden, overwhelming emotion they stood, and not waiting for the ex-Confederates to reach them, they too moved forward, with as much speed as their arthritic legs could muster, to exchange with their former foes not lead nor steel, but warm embraces and tears.